Are you considering moving to Jacksonville, Florida? Perhaps a 55 and over community? Well, stick around because in today's video, I'm going over the 5 pros and the 5 cons of living in a 55 and over community. Thanks for sticking around, friends. My name's Nicole Smith. I'm a realtor here in Northeast Florida, servicing everywhere from Fernandina to Palm Coast. My sweet spot is Duval County, St. Johns County, Nassau County, and Clay County, which covers a lot of areas here in Northeast Florida. I've been doing a lot of research lately and a lot of tours of new communities that are specializing in the 55 and over community. So I thought this video might be very helpful to you if you have been considering or already have done a lot of research within a 55 and over community. Today I'm going to go over 5 pros and 5 cons, and today I'm going to start with the pros. Number 1 reason you might want to live in a 55 and over community is because it is age appropriate environment. You're going to be surrounded by like-minded people who have the same ideas of noise levels, of the same ideas of lifestyle, of perhaps the way they want to live, and not be surrounded by younger people. That's pro number 1. The pro number 2, it is a quiet and peaceful environment. You're not going to have really loud music playing while you're still working, while you're trying to get some sleep, for example. And then within that environment, you may be on the edge of the 55 portion and you're still working. So you want to consider the peace and tranquility of a community. The number 3 pro is the amenities. It's geared towards things like swimming, fitness, activities, and in most cases, there's a lifestyle coordinator. So you have organized activities, organized fun, and in most cases, that lifestyle director gets the community involved. So you get to pick what you like to do. If they haven't figured out what people like to do, you get to add your input. So if you prefer cards, you can request cards. If you prefer a movie night, it can be movie nights. If you prefer bocce ball and they have a bocce ball field, you can organize all kinds of different activities along with the lifestyle director. The number 4 pro is security. In most cases, this is a gated community, and you will feel absolutely secure in this community because of those gates and having to have codes to get in. That gives you a lot of peace of mind when you have security. The number 5 reason is maintenance. Not in every community, but in most communities, they're taking care of all your lawn and all your garden. So you want to make sure, if that's important to you, that the community you're looking in offers that. Taking care of your garden and your lawn is especially important in a hot community like Florida. And in Northeast Florida, yes, we do get a cool down in the winters, but in the middle of summer, it can be very hot here. So those are the 5 pros. Now let's move on to the 5 cons. The first con about living in a 55 and over community, it is a limited diversity. That means because there's only 55 and over people living here, you're not going to have the diversity that you might have in most other communities. And you may not have the same background or perspective, so that is something to consider. The number 2 con is isolation. Because you don't have the intergenerational interactions, you may feel a little isolated because you're not seeing as many younger people around. And that may be something you actually enjoy. You'll see some, but it's not going to be the same as if you're living in an unrestricted community. The number 3 con about living in a 55 and over community is they do have restrictions. For example, if you have your grandchildren over, they can only stay with you for so many nights in the calendar year. And they also may have restrictions on when they're allowed to use the pool. Because they're trying to protect the community and the lifestyle that the homeowners in this community expect, they will only allow, let's say for an example, the grandchildren to be in the public pool from 1 to 4. And in some cases, no grandchildren are allowed in the pool at all. But there are communities which I've actually shown, and if you want to look at the video over here, where there's a parent community that you're allowed to go into that community with your grandchildren, but they're not allowed to go into the 55 and over community. So there are options if that's something that concerns you. The number 4 con is the resale challenge. So when you have a smaller demographic, then you have less people who will be able to purchase your home if they're only allowed to purchase it if they're 55 and over. Now keep in mind, not both owners have to be 55, just one does. So if you still have children that are 18, they can live there. If your spouse is younger than you, they can live there with you. So don't let that totally get you confused. Just one of the owners has to be 55. The number 5 con is healthcare access. The reason why this is a con is oftentimes these communities are built near another community where there's not hospitals as close by. So if that is a concern to you, you would want to really make sure that there's a hospital close enough that you have access to medical care. Now the great thing about Northeast Florida is we have very large amount of healthcare facilities here. We have great systems, great doctors, great nurses, and we even have tiny little ER rooms scattered throughout the whole area. This is a great community to live in if you are a doctor or affiliated in any part of the medical field. Northeast Florida is very good for helping people with their medical, if they're working as a nurse, doctor, or anything to do with that. So if you're considering making a move here, I would consider you really, there are a lot of great jobs here to support every industry in and around the medical field. So this would be a good option for you to move here if you're looking for a new position in the medical field. So friends, those are my top pros and my top cons of living in a 55 and over community. If you're considering making a move, maybe not even into a 55 and over community, somewhere in Northeast Florida, Metro Jacksonville, Florida, why don't you reach out to me today? I'll leave a link to my calendar in the description here, and you can reach out and we can have a free consultation and get to know each other better, and perhaps I can be your go-to agent here in Northeast Florida. And if you haven't seen this other video, I posted another video over here in Jacksonville in another community that's not a 55 and over community. So if it's not for you, perhaps you might know someone it is for. And remember, friends, to like the video, subscribe, and follow. That really helps me out. And I appreciate your time, and I hope I've added value to you. And remember, if you're not living your best life and you're not living where you love to live, it's never too late to make a move and start living your best life here in Jacksonville, Florida. Thanks again, friends, and until next time, keep living the dream.